And we'll be getting Squiffy on Scrumpy. She usually does on Fridays. And cheese rolling on Hackney Downs. It's a big sport out there. While Michael's Morris dancing team will be swinging a pig's bladder all the way up the King's Road. So stay well away from Chelsea. And amid such nationalistic fervour here this week, we decided it was time to throw patriotism under our spotlight. Land of hope and glory, my country, right or wrong, this green and pleasant land. God save the Queen, the fascist regime. Is patriotism a force for good, a common bonding over a shared way of life? If so, where do the politics of benign nationalism end and crude jingoism begin? Maybe mass immigration has transformed what it means to be proud of Britain. Do we now fly the flag as much for badges on the beach as fish and chips on the pier?
Honey girl, sweet sugar dumpling. Huh?
Some things rarely change, though. Patriotism is still the last refuge of the politician.
Britain leading the global economy, drawing on the talents of all to create British jobs for British workers.
It is an election we have to win because our country is in a complete mess, and it is our patriotic duty to turn it around and give this country a better future.
And with the BNP launching their Patriot missiles at the discontented white working class, should we beware those who use love of country as a weapon of fear rather than a shield of pride? And we're joined now by British film director Gurinder Chadha. Welcome to the programme. I see you've got the Union Jack on your handbag now. Is that significant?
Oh, yes, especially for the...
You kind of gave the implication that it's more comfortable to do that now than it would have been years ago.
Yes, I mean, I grew up, my political education was during the 80s. I'm from Southall, where we had the big demonstrations. And at that time, the Union Jack was something that we were fearful of. And then everything changed. I think no one can forget the image of Ian Wright, you know, with the flag around him. And I think, yeah, you walk down any high street now and the Union Jack is sort of a fashion accessory. And I think we've reclaimed the Union Jack, actually. And I think now, you know, it's time to reclaim patriotism from the far right.
So how would you see patriotism in the 21st century?
Well, patriotism is your allegiance to your country. I consider myself to be a British filmmaker. The British industry considers me to be a British filmmaker.
You are a British filmmaker.
Absolutely. I have an OBE. I am a cultural ambassador for Britain. I mean, I make films about Britain that are seen all over the world, about the British nature, the British character. It's just that it's the Britain that I see around me that exists today.
Does patriotism play a role in general elections?
Well, it's a little bit like motherhood and apple pie. I mean, you could scarcely vote for someone you thought wasn't patriotic, someone who didn't care about his or her country, so it's important in that respect. I think, just as you've been saying, you know, if it's a well-rounded view of the country, if it includes everybody who's a part of that country, if it's not just about, you know, military weapons or standing up to Europe, but it's also...
Who dares wins.
But it... Well, yes.
That's only the eighth...
Oh, so horrid.
That's only the eighth time you've mentioned that,
This is the nice,
Diane.
gentle part of the programme we've got to now. If it's about culture and, you know, showing the best things about Britain to the rest of the world, I think it's a lovely thing.
Do you want to pour any more cold water on what he's saying, Diane?
Samuel Johnson, a great Englishman actually, said that patriotism was the last refuge of a scoundrel. And
what he really meant by that was jingoism.
Yes, I'm slightly aware of politicians that kind of trail their patriotism, just like I'm aware of politicians that trail their religion.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all
You've often said that Afro-Caribbeans are the last true British patriots.
Well, they are, particularly my mum's generation. They love the Queen, they love the tea. But also, we did reclaim the Union Jack. And I remember, I forget which Olympics it was, where you saw black athletes draped in the Union Jack, and then I knew we had reclaimed
things were changing. Do you think that, as a nation, we're a bit more patriotic at the moment, in a low-key way, because, to put it bluntly, we see these body bags coming back. Our soldiers' lives are being taken.
Yes, and I think that sense of shared identity amongst the various component bits, both different ethnic parts of the United Kingdom make up the different national parts and the regional parts within England. I think that is truer, although it's nothing like an election in the United States where the role of the veterans is you know, absolutely critical, and the candidates in relation to them. Interesting that the SNP complaining about these debates and so on. Big misjudgment, saying the Scots shouldn't watch this. Now, leave aside the argument, the BBC and the broadcast, should they be there, should they not? Saying, shouldn't watch it, it's irrelevant to Scotland, it's dull. The comment tonight was, the only time Scotland was mentioned was Gordon Brown saying the weather wasn't very good. As if 90% should be listening to discussion about Scotland. 650,000 Scots watched that debate last week.
Really, that much? Okay, we're going to have to leave it there. We're running out of time. Seeing great reviews for your new film. Congratulations.
Thank you.
But we've run out of time, I'm
my
afraid.
goodness, okay.
But everybody should go and see it.
Yes, it's very
That's
patriotic.
it for your lot for tonight, folks. 2 down, 1 more to go. That's Leaders' Debates, not Bottles of Blue Nun. Can we really take any more excitement? I'm not sure we can. I think we're all going to chill in the Annabelle's Tranquility Tank. It's really very nice there. But before we do, the day after thousands gave a flamboyant send-off to the architect of punk rock, Malcolm McLaren, we thought we'd leave you with Sid Vicious and his version of My Way. I wonder if any of our party leaders will use it as their anthem. Nighty-night, don't let these punk rockers bite.